Hey guys, it's 10:15. I wasn't going to do a Facebook Live today, but then I decided that I'm going to do one because we need more posts on Facebook that don't have to do with politics. So let me just go ahead and share this video on my Facebook feed, and then we can get into the conversation. Perfect. Here it is. Everything's working nicely. Pratik, thank you for joining. Okay, so now that I'm shared, I'm ready to go. Let's talk about this. So let's first set up the situation. You create ads, you make audiences or ad sets, and you start running ads to them. And let's say they have $20 in them. So they're spending $20 a day, and you are happy with the results. So what many people want to do is increase the spend of that ad set from $20 to $100 or $20 to $200. And what happens many times is that increase of spend totally ruins how your ads perform. And now instead of having a well-performing ad that was running at $20, you have a horribly running ad that's running at $200. So the question is, how do you prevent that from happening? So many people, many ad consultants would tell you that what you should do is duplicate the ad. Allow that first ad to run at $20 untouched, and then have a secondary ad where you do testing and try to raise the budget. That is the normal advice. But what I want to do here is break down how everything works in Facebook, and then hopefully from there you'll understand why certain things happen and approaches you can take to make sure that you can run the most amount of money and get the best results possible. So when you create an ad set, you choose an audience. Now let's say that audience is 150,000 people. So that means that in the course of the day, let's do some math. Let's try to get my calculator out or actually sit here, do some math. So if there's 150,000 people divided by, let's see, there's 60 minutes, 60 seconds in an hour, and 24 hours is 86,400 seconds. So that means every second of the day, there's about 1.7 people coming on to Facebook. So Facebook can predict and actually knows approximately when those 150,000 people will come on to Facebook. So if you're spending money, let's say you're spending $10, $15, and Facebook knows that out of that 150,000 people, there's 20,000 people that are really good. So as opposed to showing your ad to every one of those people in that single day period, assuming that they are even all on, Facebook's going to say, okay, instead of targeting all 150,000 people, let's just find 20,000 really great people in that list. So that means that instead we have a list of 13%. I'm doing the numbers on my computer as I'm saying them. I am an amazingly greatly gifted mathematician, not actually, just calculator. So 13% of your audience is actually a good audience to target. They're the ones that are going to watch your video or engage with your post or click on your link or convert. Facebook will not convert, but they're ones that tend to convert or tend to click a lot. So Facebook will choose this group of 20,000 people to target first. So now you spend your $20, let's say $15, and you're going to reach those 20,000 people. But instead of reaching those 150,000 people, Facebook's going to say, well, you're not spending so much money, so let's show just a little bit of the group of people, your ad. You'll get really great performance with those people, and you'll have spent all of your budget. But now you say, this is working so well for me, why don't I double the spend? because if it was working at $20, why don't I double it to $40? So now Facebook says, well, instead of us showing it to 20,000 people, we're going to show the same ad to 40,000 people. And when you do that, there are less people that are interested in your ad because, the 20,000 people plus the people that had already seen it. So now out of the 150,000, there's only 130,000, and we have to show it to 40,000 people. So now, so that leaves us with, that's already 30% of your audience is seeing it in a single day. And the likelihood of those people being interested is less likely because Facebook is running out of people to show it in that day. So now imagine if you were on a bigger scale, if you were getting 20,000 people for $20, so let's say around that number, and now you go up to $150 a day, you're actually supposed to be seeing it. Santiago, thank you for coming. Well, I'm sorry that you didn't see me. I was here last week. Where were you? Did you get to go on a trip? I hope that you got to go on a trip because that would be great. But anyways, so you raise your budget from $20 a day to $150 a day, let's just say for example purposes, and now Facebook is forced to show it to everyone on your list. But now you have to assume that not everyone is coming on Facebook. So if they want to spend all that money, they actually have to show it to everyone that comes on. Of the 150,000, let's say there's 120,000 people. Of those 120,000 people, many of them probably aren't interested in what you have to sell. So what's going to happen is Facebook is going to show it to people that aren't going to convert. And therefore, you're going to be paying more money for less conversions because it has to show it to everyone, and it has to show it to everyone multiple times. And many of those people would never have seen the ad except you literally gave Facebook no choice but to show it to the same person repeated like over and over again. So what you can do is if you have a larger audience, you can increase the spend as long as it doesn't get to the point where Facebook has to show it to people that might not be interested. So if you create an audience and you see that it's working at $20 and that audience has 1 million people in it, then you should not be afraid to go from $20 to $30. And then if you see that it's not working as well, so drop down to 25 and then up to 27, then down to 24. And then, you can play around, find that right number, just like moving around. But you can increase the budget. Just don't go from 20 to 2,000. That's not something that you should do because Facebook will just run out of people to show it to. They'll not be able to give you the as good of a conversion cost. And in addition to that, additional problems that I don't really want to get into, but higher cost per impression, higher cost per click because you have more competition. There, Facebook can give you these 20,000 people for cheap, but then there's other people that are more expensive that Facebook wouldn't have put you in front of. But since you want to spend more money, they will show you to your ad to these other people that are more expensive. So that is one possibility. You can increase the spend, just don't do it dramatically and keep it within, I try to do $10 for every 10,000 or so additional people. I would even say $10 for every 100,000 people in your audience. And that's okay to be, raising the spend. And there actually is a way now to add a rule that every day that your ads stay under a certain dollar amount or under a certain percentage, that it will automatically increase by some percentage. You can set it up 10% every day. Omer, thank you for coming. You can set it up to increase over the day, every day, a certain percentage. And by doing that over the course of a week or two, your budget will rise up to that dollar amount that you want, but it will do it slowly so you could watch as the conversion rate, conversion costs drop or increase depending on what's going on. What I want to say is 3 other tactics that you can definitely use to increase your spend without decreasing your conversions. So number 1 is the advice that those other people say is just duplicate the ad. But I don't really like doing that because if there are 2 ads running against each other and they're literally identical in every single way, audience, delivery, optimization, the actual ads are literally the same. So I don't think you're actually helping yourself. What you're doing is you're creating a competition to reach the same group of 20,000 people because you're not excluding the people that are seeing the first ad. You're just literally competing against yourself. So what I would do is take that exact duplicate, ad set and create different ads for that ad set. So at least they're seeing something different. That's number one. Number two is find other people to target. There are 1.8 billion people on Facebook. The hope is that you can find other people from your audience of 1 million that might be interested. And even if you can target the same group of 1 million, but do it differently. If before you were doing it based on, I don't know, just talk about them differently. If now you're targeting them based on job profession, so instead target them based on employer, or target them based on interest that they might have, or target them because they are website visitors. For example, let's say you have people that are your website visitors that are also Facebook likers, that are also video viewers. So many times there's an overlap between those three audiences. But if you run each of those three audiences at the same time with the same ads, which I do almost every time I run ads, so what you'll see is the cost for one of them might be significantly cheaper or significantly more expensive than the other, even though technically speaking, it's the same group approximately of people, because the person came to your site, or a person likes your Facebook page, they most likely at some point have come to your site. If they've come to your site, they've most likely watched a video of yours on Facebook. I can't guarantee it, but they've most likely done that. So if you're targeting those three groups, it's very possible you're going to have an overlap of the same people, and one of them might be significantly cheaper just by having, just by running the three ads. So it's worth trying to target people in a different way. And then Facebook might say, well, if you were targeting them by employer cost, so it's really expensive, but if you target them by the job title in a specific city, it's true you're only targeting the same group of 50 people, but since you're targeting them differently, we can give you a cheaper price somehow. Not really sure exactly how it works for that, because it's the same people, but I've seen it happen. So that's definitely worth trying. Number three is to try to target them for multiple offers. So this works really well for a content site, because what I like to do is I like to send people to content, and then either you have a box in the actual content for them to sign up, or a pop-up, which works. People might not like pop-ups, so they convert really well. I'm running right now for a company. They're doing pretty well with a pop-up. Obviously, we're trying to see other formats, but their pop-ups look really nice, so we're just doing it with a pop-up. So you have a pop-up on the page to collect lead information, but what you could do is you could send them to different landing pages. Who said that it needs to be this landing page? Create 3 or 4 different landing pages. And Lucia, thank you for coming. So what you could do is you can create multiple landing pages and send the same audience to all of those landing pages. So now, if you're spending $20 for one ad to one group of people, now you could target those same group of people and just send them to a different landing page for the same $20. So now, if you use these 3 different tactics, what it allows you to do is, thank you for the like, is what it allows you to do is, 1, target the same group of people with a different ad. That's number 1. So now you could take your $20 to $40. Then you could target a bunch of different groups of people, right? So instead of targeting one group, you could target 3 or 4. So now each of those groups can each have 20. So you went from 20 to if you have 5, let's say that's $100. So you went from 20 to 100. And then instead of one offer, you have 3 offers or 5 offers. So let's say you have 3 offers with 5 audience, it's 15 times, right? Because it's each of these 5 is run 3 times, is 15 times 20 is a number that I'm $300. So you just went from $20 a day to $300 a day. And then what you could do is just turn off the ones that aren't working as well. And let's say you're left with $250 or $200. You've now gone up by 10 times the amount without dramatically hurting the ad set that you've done. And based on the ad, the amount of people in the ad set or the audience, you might be able to increase that $20 in that exact ad set from 20 to 40 or 20 to 50, depending on how much bigger these ad sets are. And this is really what I would do if I wanted to increase the spend. I would want to test a lot of different, audiences, see which ones are working, run the ones that are working with the most money I can spend possible in that day, and as long as it's converting on the level I like, I would keep it as high as I can, get the most conversions, and then try to give that group of people a bunch of different offers to keep them interested. That is how I like to scale my ads on Facebook without killing their conversion rate or destroying the ads. So that's what I have for you guys. If you have any questions or comments, please put it in the comments right here. I see there's a lot of people on right now. Peter, thank you for coming. 11 people. Wow. That's crazy. How come I'm not on Snapchat? So Simon, this is an excellent question you're asking. Why am I not on Snapchat? The reason is because Wait, Peter, you're saying I'm getting a lot of reach, which is what? Facebook ad? I'm not sure what I'm getting a lot of reach, but not sales. I have a great answer for you if that's a Facebook ads question. So Simon, at the end of the day, I did not see my reach on Snapchat growing, and I didn't think it was worth my time for my business to be there as much as I was, and I just didn't make it a priority, and that's it. So now we're like 4 months later, and I honestly see Instagram stories being the business side of Snapchat with Facebook announcing stories. I'm very excited to get into Facebook stories, and that is something I'm very excited about doing because I did learn how to do Snapchat well, and I have a nice following on Facebook, so I could now apply what I've learned on Snapchat to Facebook stories, and I believe that that's where I'm going to be spending most of my time because I love Facebook. So Simon, that's unfortunately the answer is I just don't spend time on Snapchat because I don't think that I get the most out of it as any platform that I could spend time on. So the answer is I did get on Instagram stories, and I wanted to commit time to Instagram, but I didn't. Unfortunately, I have a lot of friends that are really big on Instagram, and I was trying to get on the platform, but I didn't. So now I'm ready to go all in on Facebook stories when it comes out and see how things go, because I honestly think with 1.8 billion users that Facebook stories is going to be a massive platform. And what I am spending a lot of time on now currently is Whale, and I love Whale. I'm so happy to hear that. Your photography page, right? Your Instagram followers. I think it's a photography page, I remember. So I haven't seen it yet, but I know that it's in Ireland, which I don't live in, and where was the other place? Not Thailand. Oh, was it Thailand? There are two places where they are currently having Facebook stories, but I'm very excited about them. I think that the reach on there is going to be great. The interaction, the engagement is going to hopefully be good. So that's what I'm very excited about. Now, Peter's question, what I need to scroll up for. So Peter said, what is your best for targeting Aussie worldwide? Okay, so fun fact, Peter, they've rolled out the ability to target worldwide. You could actually type into the locations on Facebook worldwide, but warning, there are a lot of people on the internet. Like a lot of people on the internet. So when you target worldwide, many of those people, even when you're targeting, let's say you have a Facebook page, and the Facebook page is 100,000 people, and you want to target all of the people that like that page in the world. But there might be countries that people live that you're targeting them, and they don't really, even though they like your page, they're not ever going to buy your product. So you can go ahead and exclude those countries if you know what they are. You can go into Facebook Insights on your page, see which countries are doing that. That's one thing, is excluding countries. And another thing, and the other thing is to make sure the language that you're targeting the people in are a language that they speak. So I would definitely make sure if you're writing in English to target only those who are English speakers. Now, here is an important thing to remember. Many countries, people English US is pre-selected when someone comes onto Facebook. So that means there are a lot of countries where a person is using Facebook, but they do not speak any English, and they have English set to their default language. So if you were targeting UK English speakers, you would be getting a lot more actual English speakers. So I've seen this a lot with many of the people that live here in Israel, that when I target English US, I get a lot of non-US English speakers. So I want to make sure to exclude certain interests of those people that I know that I'm reaching that don't fit into who I actually want to reach, to make sure that I'm getting the right type of people in my ads. So the thing is, one is to add that worldwide, but then to make sure that you are excluding people that clearly do not fit into who you're actually trying to reach. So now I want to move up because you said something else. The only thing I've gained are likes for my Facebook page. Here's what I have to say. Unfortunately, likes on a Facebook page are really overrated. I, whenever possible, will tell my clients to not pay for Facebook likes. It is, to me, a total waste of time and energy, because even when you do really well and get a lot of Facebook likes, Facebook is only going to push your content out to at most 10%, meaning if you have, let's say, 10,000 Facebook followers, you are not going to be seen by every one of your people. It's just not, it's not happening. No matter, meaning you could get away with, maybe one post every few days. We'll do that. But the likelihood of you consistently getting in front of all of your people, if you paid for likes, is highly unlikely. And that's what I say, just number-wise. If you're planning to grow a significant list, that list should be on email. Because people open their emails, 20% of your email list will open it. But on Facebook, you'll be lucky if 10% of your people are engaging and actually seeing your posts. So what I would say to do is get people to join an email list. That's my opinion on the matter. And the next question that Peter had, other people can ask questions. I'm here. Just put a question in the comments. Would you agree with Facebook that a broader audience is more beneficial than a super specific audience? My answer is maybe. That really depends. For example, let's say you have a product, and that product is meant for businesses, right? You're a B2B business. You're trying to sell a thing to businesses. So would you target all men over 35 in America? That's a pretty broad audience, right? That's something like 50 million, probably like 35 million people, all men over 35 in America. Some of them might be B2B, maybe. So maybe you'll be able to reach the people you actually want. So that, in my mind, is a very bad way of targeting people. But at the same time, if you're trying to do B2B and you know a list of 5 companies that you could help, right? So I'm trying to do this right now. I have a list. Well, this is the same, Timothy, thank you for the question. Same question that Peter asked 2 questions ago. So if you're going super specific, so I have a list of, 5 or 6 companies I want to work with. I'm running ads right now to that group of people, and I'm doing a CPC campaign, which means that I'm only paying for the click. So I don't get charged unless someone actually clicks on the ad. And I think I spent $20. I'm not going to show you the names of the companies I'm working with. I'm trying to target, that would be pretty silly. But what I will tell you is what I've gotten for these $20. So hopefully I could show you I could tell you this. One company, 92 people in that company, excuse me, 92 people in that company have seen my ad 7.86 times for a grand total of $0. Another company, 21 people in that company, because that's the people that fit into who I actually want to reach in that company, saw my ad 13 times, and it cost me $4.44. The third company, 22 people saw my ad 18.64 times, and it cost me a total of $7.24. And then there's an extra audience group that I did where I just listed a bunch of publishers, a whole bunch of publishers that I'm trying to reach. And that group was 362 people, 8.5 times. And the total cost to the entire campaign was under $20. And I reached 500 people 10 times. So that was a super specific campaign for $20. The 500 people I specifically want to reach. And now what my plan is, now that they've all seen the ad, I'm going to make another video. So the first video was a very general video, and I'm going to create a specific video directly to that company, exactly what I would do if I worked for them. And that's really specific. But at the same time, if I was running a B2C company, a B2C ad like this, and I was paying per click, I would be spending a ton of money. So this doesn't really work for B2C. So what I would say to do is what I explained in the beginning of this video, which is I would try to find who I'm trying to reach, the group of people I'm trying to reach. Excuse me. Whether that is a group of interests or people that have visited my site or competitors of mine, or just trying to reach this audience, whether there's 150,000 people in the audience or there's 3 million people in the audience. And I would just create multiple ad sets, all of them targeting the same type of person. And then I would run ads, $10 a day for 3 days in that 5 things. We're talking about $150 spend, just targeting these 5 groups of people, see which one performs at the lowest price for the highest conversion rate, turn off all the rest of them, and you'll have your answer. Is it better to be specific? Is it better to be general? Well, just let the numbers tell you. That's really what I have to say about that. Okay, next question. Thank you, Peter, for all these questions. These are great. Would you agree with the border? Okay, I have oriented my ads for CPC, but my point was that I'm only getting page likes. Meaning you're optimizing your ads for clicks and you're getting page likes. So what I would say to do is switch your campaign to a conversion-based campaign. Now, conversions on Facebook can literally mean anything. So the first most obvious one would be a person converts. They become a lead. They sign up for a webinar. They buy a product. They register for an event. So there's no water in here. So they're converting. But what you can actually set up is you can set up a conversion where a person lands on page X and gets to page Y. And then you just target people, send them to page X, and then give them plenty of opportunities to move to page Y. So while that's not really a conversion, they didn't give you their email address, they didn't buy your product, but they took a specific action on your page. And this is definitely something that you could do. You can get people to come to your site and read an article or watch a video or take some sort of action on your site where they simply have to click to move to that video or click to, extend the article or something like that. And you can set up a Facebook ad for conversions where all the person is converting to do is moving to another, reading a second article. And this is a really great way of getting people who potentially would actually be interested in what you're doing because they're reading your article, they're watching your video on your site. That's what I would say for you to do, Peter. And those are really great questions. Anyone else have a question before I go? I think this might be the end of my Facebook Live. If you enjoyed this, I would love for you guys to hit the share button, which on mobile is somewhere in this general area over here, and on desktop is somewhere over here. And you could tell your friends about this great chat that we're having. They could jump in and ask a question. Why is this not working for me. I'm trying to run an ad. Power editor issues. Unbelievable, these people. Every day when I'm like uploading new ads for my clients, I send a message to my wife saying, like, you won't guess what happened today. And she just responds by saying, let me guess, Power Editor isn't working. So I just like live in this situation all day long. This is it. Just, just another 400 more things to upload. No big deal. It's how it is. Life of an advertiser. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for the comments and the questions. And that's all I got. Have a really great day. I'm glad that you spent this time with me, and we didn't even talk about politics. It was so pleasant here. So that's it. So again, please, if you like this video, like it, comment down below, share it with your friends, tell them to come tomorrow for the next adventure here on Rats Pack Media's Facebook Live page, where we have so much fun and do things. We talk, how to do stuff, how to make money. So that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for joining. And as always, I will see you in the next video.